Years ago, Pep Guardiola made a prediction about Vincent Kompany that most people dismissed as sentiment.
He will be back sooner or later. So I think his destiny to become a manager of Man City is already written in the stars, at the stars, so it's going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
He said Kompany would one day manage Manchester City, that it was written in the stars. At the time, it sounded like a nice thing to say about your former captain. Then Kompany went to Burnley and got relegated. Yet Bayern still called him to replace their coach. People laughed.
But he is the sixth choice at Bayern Munich. They tried 5 coaches before him. There is nothing in Vincent Kompany's football career as a coach that I see that tells me that this is the right man for Bayern Munich.
Fast forward to today, Vincent Kompany is on track to win almost every trophy in sight, whilst breaking records. This is the story of how a relegated manager became the most feared coach in Europe.
But you have to surround them with people who understand the club. You have to surround them with characters who do things for the right reasons.
When Pep arrived at Manchester City in 2016, he inherited Kompany as his captain. But what he found wasn't just a defender, it was a coach already operating on the pitch. Kompany talked constantly, organised everyone around him, set the standards in training and on match days. He wasn't just leading, he was managing. Pep noticed immediately. Years later, Kompany explained what those seasons under Pep actually meant.
Yeah, because I was given almost like a curriculum. You know, I was given
What do you mean a curriculum?
just a way to explain football, to talk about the game, to explain positions, to explain tempo of the ball, timing of support, timing of runs, and understanding in every position, and understanding what is the effect of every decision you make on the pitch, every position you take on the pitch. My biggest regret is that I didn't have Pep when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. Because the player that I was in that time, you know, I had decent potential.
He said Pep gave him a curriculum, not just tactics, a way to see football. Kompany absorbed all of it. Pep took Kompany under his wing above all other players because he saw something special in him. But Pep also saw something else too. He saw how Kompany processed the game, how he analysed opponents, how he demanded standards from teammates, how he handled pressure, media and expectations. Pep didn't just see a captain, he saw a future manager.
I think all of us have fans are happy he'll be back.
He said it publicly, Kompany's destiny was to return to the Etihad as a coach. At the time, people smiled. Nice words for a club legend. But Pep wasn't being sentimental, he was being diagnostic. He'd watched Kompany up close for 3 years, saw how his mind worked, saw how he led, saw how he thought about football in layers most players never reach. The thing about Pep's predictions is they're never about loyalty. He doesn't say things to be kind, he says things because he sees patterns others miss. When Kompany left City in 2019 after 11 years, his legacy as a player was sealed. Statue outside the Etihad, 4 Premier League titles, a club legend. But Pep knew the next chapter was coming. He just had to wait for everyone else to see it too. When Kompany took the Burnley job in 2022, people were confused. Vincent Kompany in Championship football. This was a club that had just been relegated. A club known for long balls, set pieces and survival football. The opposite of everything Kompany believed in. He had a simple response.
A lot of people were shocked when you actually took the job at Burnley. You know, Vincent Kompany, this legend of a Premier League player, surely he wants a job in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Why Burnley?
First of all, you're never too big for anything.
Most managers would have waited, take an assistant role somewhere safe, build their reputation slowly, but Kompany jumped straight in. And he didn't just take the job, he changed everything. Within months, Burnley became unrecognisable. The long balls disappeared and possession football became a part of the club. Pressing, building from the back, football that looked like it belonged at the Etihad, not Turf Moor. The results followed. Burnley became the best possession team in the Championship, 65% average, the highest pressing team in the league, fewest goals conceded, fewest corners conceded. And here's what people say, it's just the Championship, wait until he faces real opposition. But Kompany didn't care about the noise, he cared about the process. He recorded 101 points, championship title, promotion at the first attempt. Then came the Premier League, and Burnley felt it firsthand on why they say it's the toughest league in the world. Because by the end of the season, they were relegated again. But here's the thing, it was the same philosophy, same bravery, but the squad wasn't good enough. The quality gap was too wide. Most managers would have had their reputations destroyed. Kompany didn't. Why? Because everyone who watched closely saw the same thing. He squeezed every drop out of that squad. The players overperformed, the system was right, but the quality wasn't. Burnley wanted to keep him, they saw that he was building something. They believed in the project. But by then, the rest of Europe had noticed. Bayern Munich came calling, and everyone laughed again. Before Kompany arrived, Bayern Munich had a problem. They were still Bayern, they still won games, they still had world-class players, but they weren't scary anymore. Under Nagelsmann and Tuchel, Bayern felt beatable. The aura had faded, the swagger was gone. In Europe, teams stopped dreading the Bavarians. If anything, you had a better chance of qualifying against Bayern than any other top team in Europe. Bayern were there, but they weren't the Bayern that haunted your nightmares. But Vincent Kompany changed that in months. He walked into a fractured dressing room, a club that had cycled through managers, a squad that needed direction, and he gave them exactly all that was missing. From day one, he made his intentions clear: possession, aggression, courage, front foot football, no sitting back, no managing games, domination. The players bought in immediately. Today, look at what Bayern became under him. At the beginning of the season, they scored 71 goals in their first 18 Bundesliga games. A record 50 points after 18 matches. Positive 57 goal difference. Of course, since then, Bayern have taken things to an even greater level. As of mid-March 2026, they scored an incredible 92 goals in the league from 67 expected goals. That's 25 goals above expectation. They're not just creating chances, they're finishing everything. On the other side, only 24 goals conceded from 27 expected goals against. They're outperforming at both ends. But beyond the numbers, watch how Bayern set up in possession now. They play in a 2-2-6 formation. Centre-backs pushing so high they're practically midfielders. Full-backs inverting, 6 players in attacking positions at all times. That's Kompany saying, we're not here to compete, we're here to overwhelm you. In fact, the game against Leipzig told you everything. Bayern were 1-0 down at halftime. Most teams panic, adjust, go conservative, settle for a point. Bayern won 5-1. Gnabry, Kane, Tar, Pavlovic, Elise, wave after wave. And the crazy part is just 4 days earlier, Bayern had beaten Wolfsburg 8-1 at home, recording their biggest league scoreline of the season. This isn't a team that has good days, this is a team operating at a level nobody else can reach. But again, the critics said the same thing they said about Burnley. It's a farmers' league, anyone can dominate the Bundesliga. But here's what they're ignoring. Before Kompany, Bayern weren't dominating. Tuchel got sacked for underperforming. Nagelsmann couldn't get them over the line in Europe. The mood around the club was fractured. Kompany walked in and fixed it all. The Bundesliga isn't mathematically wrapped up, but they're 11 points clear with 9 games left. It's over, everyone knows it. And in Europe, Bayern are even better than they've ever been. Big managers prove themselves in big games. Kompany is no different. On the 28th of February 2026, Bayern were to play a game away at Dortmund. The Yellow Wall, 81,000 fans. The one fixture in Germany where Bayern actually feels pressure. Dortmund took the lead through Schlotterbeck in the 25th minute. By halftime, the game was 1-0 with the home crowd smelling blood. But Bayern didn't panic. Instead, Kompany made a tweak or two, and soon enough, Kane equalized in the 54th minute. Then again, from a free kick in the 70th minute, 2-1 Bayern. But Dortmund weren't finished. Svensson volleyed home Dortmund second in the 83rd minute, 2-2. With 6 minutes left, the momentum was completely with the home side. Most teams would settle for the point, take the draw, protect the lead at the top. Bayern didn't. In the 87th minute, Joshua Kimmich scored an insane volley to win the game 3-2. That goal pushed Bayern's lead to 11 points. But if Dortmund showed Bayern spine, Atalanta showed their ceiling. Before the Champions League round of 16, the Italian club was one of the most informed teams in Europe. Compact, aggressive, and difficult to break. Bayern broke them in 25 minutes. The tie was dead before halftime, but Bayern kept going. Jackson made it 4, Elise got a second, Musiala added a 6th. Final score 6-1, away from home. The return leg saw Bayern win 4-1, bringing the aggregate score to 10-2. That's not just winning, that's an annihilation. And it wasn't a one-off. Way before this game, Bayern faced Paris Saint-Germain, away in the Champions League group stage. This was supposed to be the most hyped game of the season. But even with a red card, Bayern made light work of it. That's the mentality Kompany installed. The one loss they faced in Europe this season was against Arsenal. This isn't a team having a good season, this is a team operating on a different level entirely. And as surprising as this season has been, it's all just been a confirmation of the thing Pep had seen coming years ago. Vincent Kompany took a championship club and made them play like prime Barcelona. Then he took a fractured Bayern Munich and turned them into one of the most feared teams in Europe. Same philosophy, same standards, same relentless demand for excellence. The critics called Burnley's success a fluke. They called the Bundesliga a farmers' league. But the results keep coming, the trophies keep stacking, and Pep keeps smiling. One day, Vincent Kompany might walk into the Etihad as Manchester City's manager, and when he does, nobody will be surprised. Because Pep told us years ago, he saw the coach before anyone else did. Pep Guardiola was right about Vincent Kompany. The rest of the football world is just catching up. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Above the Goal for more stories like this. We cover the tactics, the stories, and the predictions that everyone else misses until they come true. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next one.